everybody! We're going to talk about all things Valentines, aren't we?
Well, we mustn't we? We're in retail and it's
absolutely.
The peak of February for us.
It is.
Normally people order it quite late, but we have mentioned it in the last 2 videos, or 3 maybe, and the orders are quite big already. So if you are interested, I just think you really need to get your order in quicker, just in case we have to close because we're sold out. At the minute, it's fine. So, do go on to our website and order it. But don't believe in it till Friday night is all I'm saying.
No. Well, you'll be in trouble for all sorts of different reasons if it's that case.
So that's that. But what we thought we would discuss is that obviously some people will be using our dine at home.
Dine at home, which is great, absolutely.
But a lot of our customers are good home cooks. Maybe enthusiastic is the word for some. So we thought we would discuss like how do you tackle catering, like doing your own Valentine's meal at home.
Doing your own Valentine's at home during a pandemic. Be a bit indulgent.
Dare I say, when it comes to Tom Ford, that some truffle might be involved somewhere.
Yes. I mean, I've got 2 jars of truffle honey, and truffle salt in my cupboard, or from Christmas actually, which I'm yet to use.
I do think it's one of the most luxurious kind of ingredients to have. Cooking at home, if you're a pro, you know what you're doing, don't you?
You've got to be in the right frame of mind. You've got to have everything in your mind set out that you want to do. I mean, I love the process anyway. I think that's the most enjoyable bit for me. I love preparing, chopping, all the prep, all the mise en place. I just glass of wine on the side. That's my favourite bit. But there are elements of it.
Don't say that to your other half.
Well, no, Karen knows. No, Karen knows. She does. She knows I love cooking, and but I mean, it depends. When it comes to Valentine's, there are certain things that you might want to take into account. You don't want to go too heavy. You don't want to fill up on a big bowl of scouse. It's true.
Well, it's funny, isn't it? Because I would agree. I would say that you should try and keep your courses light with Valentine's, because the last thing you want to do is go into a food coma at the end of it.
Yes.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's not the reason you want to be going to bed for afterwards.
Yes.
So I do think it should be light. I think you should take your time as well, as in you should think of it as being, a meal that might take you an hour and a half, 2 hours, 2.5. Like, so you start with something that you can pick with. I like sharing. That's why we've done it on our menu, isn't it? Just kind of picky bits.
And things like that. Sorry.
A bit of a trend at the minute is to have a sharing steak, isn't it?
A big old steak to share between 2 people.
So Côte de Boeuf.
All day long.
Or a T-bone.
Yeah.
It's easier to cook rather.
It's tasty because it's on the bone. But yeah, if it's in a big block like that, I mean, obviously, as long as you have it both cooked the same, medium rare, which is the way it should be, then
serve
it's easy enough to do.
Truffled mash.
Truffled mash, or some Hasselback potatoes with a bit of truffle salt on top. But yeah, it's a case of, I mean, the thing is, with a big steak like that, it's so much easier to cook than 2 smaller ones.
Yep, I agree.
So it's just a case of searing it either side, bang it in the oven.
Yeah.
It's what's known as a reverse sear, as the chefs would call it.
A reverse sear.
Would you have it before? What would you have beforehand? I mean, we're a delicatessen with a wonderful charcuterie counter. So
charcuterie all the way for me. I just like little bits and bobs. Like, get some bits together,
something easy enough to prepare to start off with that you can nibble and graze on.
You can lay out, and you can graze on, and you can take as long or as little as time as you want on it. Mm-hmm. I like things like the artichoke hearts.
Yes.
That's nice.
Buccaronis,
the peppers, stuffed peppers, all sorts of dips and things. We've got quite a range of half bottles of fizz, haven't we, this year? And I really am a big fan of half bottles of fizz. You want fizz to start with, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. And then you think, well, I've opened the bottle now, it's a really nice bottle, I'm going to finish it. I think by the time you're onto your main course and you're having some nice red wine, I think it's a recipe for another snooze in the evening. It's not good. I think half bottles cold. Enjoy half bottle between you while you're having your starters, and then move on to some really good red wine or whatever wine you want to go with.
No, that makes sense.
Pace yourself, basically. Yeah. We've got our favourite Bollinger in half bottles. We've got, where are we now? Ayala. Now, this is a champagne that's not that well known, but it's very good. And it is owned by Bollinger. There's one without any added sugar, which is extra dry, which I think is delicious.
Yeah, they call it Natural.
Yeah, Natural. And we do have half bottles of this as well. However, as you all know, we are a big fan of other types of fizz.
Yeah. So, if, say, for instance, you've never tried this before, I recommend it. It's one of my favourite sparkling wines. And funny enough, I mean, you talking about half bottles, I would get a full bottle of this because that's my tipple. I love sparkling wine. It's made in a very different way to Prosecco. So, Franciacorta is actually a very, very popular, well, it should be a popular fizz in northern Italy, but it's made using the same method as you'd use for making champagne. So it's traditional method. And yeah, it's using very similar grape varieties to champagne, but I think it's super creamy, really biscuity. And it's totally different to Prosecco, where Prosecco is quite lemony and light and zingy and sometimes quite sweet. This is a little bit more richer and creamier. I love Franciacorta.
And that's such a cool bottle as well, isn't it?
Really cool bottle.
Now, Maxime's is, it's like the Ritz of Paris, really, isn't it? We have their whole range, and I think these are, not only does the champagne taste good, they do have some fantastic packaging. I mean, look at this bottle.
Yeah.
You know, they have a rosé as well with the pink bottle and stuff, and I think that's great as a Valentine's gift or as a centerpiece to a Valentine's hamper. And last but not least, because they're all a bit girly, aren't they? Really?
No.
I think that's more for
what Bond drinks.
Well, that's what Bond drinks. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
Okay. Fair enough.
So this is a good gift for the blokes, for all the ladies looking for some ideas. So this is Bollinger 007.
So it's their cuvee, their classic cuvee.
It's their classic cuvee, that's their standard entry-level champagne. Delicious. Nothing standard about it, really. But normally, when there's a Bond film out, they do a vintage. They release a vintage, and they put it in some fancy dancy packaging. And if you buy them, they're usually about £100, something like that. I can't remember.
Is it a Grand Marnier, but with 007 packaging?
Yeah.
Okay.
And 007 films only come out every 3 or 4 years, don't they? Something like that.
Unless, of course, it's during a pandemic.
Yes. So what they've done this year, because it wasn't released on schedule, I think the smart marketing thought we will do this as a temporary measure. Now
this is super rare then, because it's a 007. Is it 007 on the label?
Yeah, look, see there.
So that's 007.
Yeah.
For a bottle of special cuvee. Mm-hmm. So they've never actually done that before.
No, not to my knowledge. And in the meantime, this is priced as a normal bottle of Bollinger, but it's a great gift, isn't it? And it comes in the box with the 007.
It's one of my fave champagnes.
And dessert-wise, we always like to go for sharing. But my favourite easy sharing one is to have a chocolate fondue, which is super easy. You get some nice chocolate, you melt it in the microwave, you can add a bit of cream, or you can add some liquid, like some alcohol, whether you're into your brandies or your whiskies or whatever, your rum, and then dip. Generally fruit I prefer, pineapple, banana.
Pineapple would be good.
Yeah. So that's an easy sharing one, I say.
And it's fun.
It's fun, yeah. One other a bit crazy Valentine's thing is that we do have some heart-shaped cheeses. We mentioned them last week, didn't we? But they're actually in store now. They're very dainty, though.
Did you get any of the Neuchâtel ones?
Yeah, but they're cow's milk, aren't they? Yeah. So we've got heart-shaped cheeses. We've got the in wax the.
Oh, the truckles.
Yeah.
I think we might be running low on them, to be honest.
Oh, are we? Mm. Well, all I'm saying is there's all sorts of crazy things.
The notion of us doing hampers, that's been our bread and butter at Christmas for how many years now? Since the beginning, yeah. So it's very simple. You can tailor it to the person, the recipient, the lucky individual in terms of what they like to eat, what they like to treat themselves with. Give us a bit of a brief, a bit of a budget, we'll box it up, make it look nice, and that's it, it's done. So there's a sample of the box. That's kind of like, we call that a sort of like the starting level. It fits 2 bottles in basically, but you can fit all sorts of goodies. So whether they've got literally, the best thing is for you to come down here and have a browse round and pick all the things that they like. They may be into chili, they may be into cheese, they may be into beer, they may be into coffee, salted caramel.
Whatever they like. Yeah. You can pick a selection. If you're struggling and you're not confident about that selection, ask one of the staff members and they'll help you. Because we understand that we do have a rather lot of products, and for some people it's a bit overfacing. Yeah. We can help you as little or as much as you like. You could pay, when you get to the till, you say you want to turn it into a gift, then we will go and disappear while you wait outside, and we'll box it all up and turn it into a pretty gift. We did a lot at Christmas and we can do them for Valentine's. We were talking about the Maximes of Paris, and they've got some really nice, pretty tins.
Yeah.
You know,
in there, I mean, is it the Fayetine hazelnut sort of wafers?
Yeah.
They are amazing.
They are amazing. And then you get a nice tin to keep afterwards, don't you? I don't know what it is about tins, but I love them. Going back to Britain, this brand only came out last year, and it's Love Cocoa by James Cadbury. And he's something like the my great-great-great-grandfather was John Cadbury. It's very socially conscious chocolate, apart from tasting delicious. They plant a tree for every bar that they sell. They have got no palm oil, it's all single origin. They've got eco packaging with no plastic. It's British, it's delicious, and they do some really nice packaging. So, you know, this one's salted caramel milk chocolate. It's 41% milk chocolate, which is, you know, good. I mean, because I like a dark milk chocolate.
Yeah.
However, if you want to get even more local, we have
Toki Choki.
Toki Choki. Now, again, we sell out of this one quickly. But
we got so many shipments of that at Christmas, it was bonkers.
Yeah, and she's dropped off some Valentines ones, which I've not seen, but they're on her Instagram, and we have a few boxes left, and hopefully she might drop some more off before the weekend. But they're delicious, they're up the road, defo buy them if you're into chocolates. I think that's a lovely gift just on its own. Who needs a hamper? Just, you know,
Toki Choki.
That and a card. I was thinking about hot chocolate, because it's trying to snow now, isn't it? So it's still like not really spring-like, and I thought hot chocolate might be a good addition to any little hamper of treats.
I think it's an amazing idea.
Now, on the one hand, we've got this Chocomoco. It's a British hot chocolate,
tried that one.
And it has chocolate-coated popping candy topper.
Oh, okay.
Now, I'm a big fan of popping candy. I love a bit of a surprise. And then I thought the other interesting one that seems to have caught on is that people quite often are asking us for Spanish hot chocolate, aren't they?
Well, there's a couple of different types, though, isn't there?
Yeah. Now we've got the thickened stuff, which is in a packet, and you just mix it with milk, and it has corn flour in it that thickens it, and you're meant to dip your churros in. But most people don't have deep fat fries to do their own churros at home. But you can dip anything you want in it, basically biscuits, whatever. All I would suggest is don't do yourself whole mugfuls. No. It's too rich.
Yeah.
If you've got an espresso cup, or if you have like a small coffee cup, go for that volume, because otherwise you just don't eat it all. And then we have this Simon Cole. It's a Spanish chocolate maker, isn't it? And they have these bars.
I've not tried this.
Well, this one's got chili in it.
Okay.
There's one with vanilla, and there's one with cinnamon, and then there's just chocolate. And they're really good, and you kind of grate it into your hot chocolate. And it's pretty, it's pink, you know, why not? It's something different, isn't it? I'm a big fan of chili and chocolate. Again, when we make hampers, if we're going to make them for you, we can go down a theme. These are gorgeous Italian biscuits.
Amaretti type things.
Now, I think I'm showing my age, but there used to be a trick. Did you never used to do the trick with this paper when you're in Italian restaurants?
Aren't you supposed to light it and then it just flies up into the air?
And every time I say it to anybody, nobody remembers it.
No, I know that.
Yeah? So you just, after you've eaten the biscuit, you put it into a tube, stand it tall, and you set fire to the top. I suppose it's because not many people have lighters at the tables now, maybe.
That's, yeah.
Or maybe it's just bad behaviour, I don't know.
Maybe, setting fire to stuff in restaurants, yeah.
But you set fire to the top, and it burns down, doesn't it? And then just before it looks like you're going to set fire to the table, it just lifts into the air and like a little lantern and floats off. They're perfect for that. You know, last but not least, honestly, we could go on forever, so I'm not going to. But this range of biscuits we got in last year, just in the autumn.
I've been looking at them constantly, and I've yet to get them. I am interested by these ones on the side there.
Yeah, well,
the palmiers.
But I was just going to say, in terms of the hampers, they can be savoury, can't they? Like things like chili pasta.
Yes.
We've got sauces that that with chilies in, or we've got individual chilies and stuff. So we can pretty much build anything.
Yeah, and if you want something interesting, chutneys or relishes to go with, I don't know, a little bit of cheese. We've got loads of crackers and bits and bobs. Yeah.
Now I also have the best-selling card that we've got for Valentine's at the minute. I love you even more than I love Jürgen.
Wow.
Only just, it says. Now, after the latest run of results, maybe not. But it is popular, and for those of you who are with Crazy Reds, for those of you who are Crazy Reds, this may be a good card for you to give. So I think, have we covered everything?
I think so.
Good. We've been talking a long time.
I need to edit this, so. Goodbye, everybody!